I mean, it was a must-win for us. Losing the last two conference games by an inch is what Coach said. So, I mean, I feel like it was just a must-win. I know it was a hostile environment, but we had to pull through for sure.
Jalen, can you just speak about the trio of threes that you guys were able to get? It seemed like that gave you that separation up until technically that late charge there.
Well, we had a great game plan coming in. Coach told us when we drive, they're gonna flood, and the skips are gonna be wide open. So if we share the ball, we're gonna get wide open threes, and he was right.
Milos, I guess just for you, with that late charge, I guess what were y'all thinking? Was it a tough thing to kind of take, or did y'all feel like you were just kind of riding that wave up until you kind of found your rhythm?
With the charge?
With their late charge,
Their late run.
Their
run.
The late run.
I mean, I felt like we just had to stay calm. Basketball's a game of runs, so when they went on their little run, I felt like we just had to get stops, and once we did, I mean, came out with the dub. So.
I guess kind of.
It felt like for a while there until that last run, Tech would make a bucket and then you would make it through or someone else would. How did it feel, and really how did that help you all just stay ahead for most of the game, especially a hostile environment?
I just felt like we had in our heads that we had to win by any means. So when they went on their run, we just had to lock down and get stops, and I think that's what happened. We got a possession where we got to stop, and we scored, and then we got another stop. So I think that's what happened.
Hey, on the last timeout, what'd you guys expect coming out of Tech and just defend the three? Was that the strategy for both you guys?
Yeah. I mean, the game plan for that play was just switch and no threes, and if it got down to a late shot clock, maybe foul, but if they're deep enough, just contest it, and Bijan got a block, and we just got the rebound to finish it off. That's pretty much it.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Phil.
Oh, sorry. We can do one more.
I was just going to ask, kind of bouncing off that, you guys held them to 2 3-pointers today. How did you feel that you guys were obviously closing out well on them? What do you think you guys were doing to do that right?
We knew one of their best shooters were out, so we tried to take advantage of that and just know who our shooters are, Tyson and O'Banner. So, I mean, I feel like we just guarded the three-point line well, really.
Good. All right, thanks, guys. Well,
Appreciate it.
Coach Milos Uzan is not a starter for you, and I think coming into this game he was playing like 18, 19 minutes a game, but he was the best player on the court tonight. Could you just talk about what he brings?
Yeah, he's actually been starting probably the last 8 games for us. He didn't start the season off starting, but he's probably, 7 or 8 in a row he started for us, and his confidence is just growing. He's a bigger guard, and he really helps. I thought he was really good tonight. For him and a freshman to step up in that environment to make those 2 shots. And the funny thing is, he was more probably thinking about I don't know what he just said, but I know he missed the layup, but he probably wanted the and one. But for him to step up and make those 2 free throws, but he brings a guy that can go downhill, create for others. He's a long defender. He can knock down a shot. He's not afraid to go downhill to finish, and he's not afraid to. He's a phenomenal skip passer, and we were really trying to skip it on him. So he brings a lot to us, and I think he's really good, and he's doing. And I love how they bounced back. We had 2 heartbreaking close losses, and to be resilient in this atmosphere, they did a great job coming back from down 10 to get into overtime, and so we needed that to fight through that adversity.
And coming into this game, I believe you were something like number 14 nationally in defending the three-point line. Obviously, an outstanding job tonight. Would you say that's the centerpiece of your defensive philosophy, is guarding the three-point line?
I don't know if it's a centerpiece. I just think it's a byproduct of it. Like, we're just really trying to have high hands and contest every 3. We're trying to really get out underneath the shooters. And I think it's a byproduct of it, but I thought we did a good job of contesting threes. I think that's the one thing that we're doing all year is and you know what? Ironically, we let a bunch open last game, and we talked about it. I thought we let Iowa State get probably 4 or 5 uncontested ones, which wasn't like us, and we addressed it the last 2 days, and I thought we were trying to really make them work for their threes tonight.
And on the other end, you got some open threes yourself, particularly in the second half. Could you talk about what you were doing schematically to create those open threes?
Well, I just think, Texas Tech is, you guys all know, you see them, they're unbelievable defensively. They're so physical, and, I think this year we got a couple more guys that can go downhill. I think Bijan Cortez can go downhill. And I thought those two started. I thought Jalen Hill got downhill. I just think when teams rotate, you can't get bottled up. They do such a good job of bottling you up, and they did early. We had, I think, 3 turnovers before the first Mighty timeout. I think we settled into it, and I think the other thing is to move the ball. We're trying to have the ball move faster than the rotations, and that's not easy. The rotations go so fast, but you got to try to have the ball move a little faster. When you hold it and let it stick and overpound it, they've already recovered. They're one of the best teams at recovering out of a scramble that will play.
Hey, Coach. In that last 10 seconds of the game when you're in your huddle, you guys know a three-pointer's probably coming. What is the message to the guys knowing already how well you have defended the 3 in this game?
It's a tricky dynamic, because if the foul right away with 10 seconds, that's too long. That's too long a time. So we were waiting, and we were really trying to switch everything. We said really stay down on shot fakes. We fouled a 3-point shooter. You saw the TCU game today. We just were trying to stay down and not foul a 3-point shooter if it happened in the first 3 or 4 seconds. And then as went down to 6-5-4, we were, if the guy was dribbling, we were thinking we were going to, if they felt it to foul, but we didn't want to foul in the act of shooting at that point. That philosophy of fouling when you're 3. It's easy when it's a dead ball and it's like 6 or under. It's easy. You get it in one dribble, you foul. But when there's like 18 seconds or 10, it's tricky because you foul too early. They got time to make 2, get it in, foul, and there still could be 8 or 9 seconds for them to come down if you miss your free throws. So it's always tricky when it's a live ball, when it's more time. But I thought our guys did a really good defending it. I think they switched to denied. I think they were trying to get to the corner. One of the things we always try to do is defend the 3 by reaching for the lights instead of going like this. That was a big Rick Majerus thing of contesting, reaching with your hand up. And I thought they ran a nice action too. I thought it was a really intense 10 seconds.
And towards the end of that second half, too, you guys had that stretch where it seemed like every basket Tech was making, you guys would go down, make a 3, or get a stop in the next one. How do you guys make sure that you're controlling tempo and maintaining that tempo when things get tight like that?
I thought we did it good at times, but they just kept on coming. And I thought we answered the crowd a handful of times, and then they got it to overtime. And this crowd is phenomenal. It's one of the best in the country. But I thought there was times that we answered the bell, which was really good. It was encouraging for us. I would not have liked it to get to overtime, having a 10-point lead, but it did. And I thought I was really like how our guys in the huddle coming out. They weren't discouraged that it was going into overtime. It was all about we got to guard. We got to guard them.
Impressed were you with Cortez's dunk down the middle?
You know what? He does some sneaky stuff in practice, like in the layup line. All of a sudden, I'm like this, but he's got long arms and he has some bounce. So I was just happy we got 2 points. I love the dunk. I told him I love the dunk, but I'm a guy that I hate the missed dunk. So I'm just glad he made it. But he's got sneaky hops.
You've been playing such close games. Were you finally wanting to call the sister up at Loyola to help out?
No, I haven't pulled that card yet. I got it though.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.